Let's start with the Hebrew alphabet song. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, He, Vav, Zayin, Het, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pet, Dalet, Kof, Resh, Shin, Shin, Tav. Today we are going to study Hebrew vowel mark. As we look at the last week, and we study about the consonant, but in original text, originally the vowel mark did not exist. So in our textbook, page 17, it outlined and summarized about that. I would like to read it again before we start the vowel mark study. For thousands of years, ancient Hebrew was only written with consonants, no vowels. So vowel doesn't exist at all. When reading these texts, they had to supply all of the vowels from memory. So they memorized the word all day long. So I use an example, the Chinese, the language of China. There is no such vowel mark on Chinese character. So I, as a Korean, we learn Chinese class. We start to learn English as a second language, foreign language, middle school. So same as Chinese character, we learn from the middle school in my generation. I don't know this current generation whether they study Chinese character or not. Also, when I was young, in my generation, or Korean newspaper, they are mixing with the Korean letter and Chinese letters. So my father, he gave me a task every day. And he told me to read a newspaper and then circle the Chinese character that I know. So day by day, I circle, which means the number of circle has increased because learning more Chinese character day by day. And then also I used to practice writing on the newspaper, the Chinese character. So Chinese character, same as Hebrew, there is no vowels at all. So same concept, same thing happened on the Hebrew. So they had to supply all of the vowels from memory. They memorized it based on oral tradition. Some consonants were used as vowels. So only consonant, no vowel, but consonant used as a vowel, some of them. Like Aleph. And then He. So Aleph, He used as the A sound. And then Yod used as E or S sound. Vav, O or U sound. So when we study Hebrew vowel mark, we'll see those consonant is used as a vowel. So then when is vowel mark studied? Between the 7th and 9th century, so which is 600 to 800 years AD, after Christos Jesus. A group of Jewish scribes called the Masoretes added vowel signs. He called the Hebrew word is Nikkudot. So it looks like a vowel. When you look at the vowel mark, it looks like a dot and little bit dash. So it called the Nikkudot. Cantillation symbols and accent mark to the text, which did not exist in the original. This process came to be known as the Masorah, which means Masorah means tradition. The marked text was called the Masoretic text and become the standard text for the Jews around the world. So more efficiently teaching their children in Jews family. So they are also spread it out all over the world. They didn't have their country until 19 47, 48, right? That time, they were spread out all over the world. They didn't have their own country. So that's the historical background. That's why one of the important things to know about this is when we study the Hebrew word in the future, and you will see the pronunciation, vowel mark is different, but same consonant. Okay? Dictionary show the different definition on the word, but consonant is all the same. So we need to count those words as the same concept, that's why, even though definition is different. And then when we study at the time in the future, you'll understand what I'm talking about right now. Okay? So those are the historical background. Original text doesn't exist vowel, but those Masoretes, they create the vowel mark to pronounce the Hebrew word without having any problem. So now let's move to the page 2 on our textbook and study Hebrew vowels. On the vertical line, you see the sound, right? Sound. This is A, E, E, U, O. I know we used to say, when we say vowel, A, E, I, O, U, but I made this chart more organized and easy to memorize it. So this one is R line. The second one is E. Third line is E. And then fourth line is U. The last line is O sound. O sound. But the length of sound is different, as you see here, right? And the vowel consists two different categories as you look at this chart. Okay? One is complete vowel. And then another category is incomplete vowel. So complete vowel is only count as syllable. Very important. Very important, okay? So in order to become a syllable, the complete vowel has to be exist. But incomplete vowel, that doesn't count as a syllable. Syllable. And we learned the Greek course about the syllable, right? Syllable is a small sound they can pronounce at once, right? When you go to the our textbook here, in order to properly pronounce a Hebrew word, you will need to understand how the word is divided into syllable. So when we learn the Greek syllable, and I was explained about the open syllable and closed syllable, right? You probably remember that. So same concept. Syllable is a unit of distinct sound. A syllable always begins with a consonant except when a word begins with vowel. Because vowel can be used as vowel sound, right? Which is a form of conjunction and may end with either a consonant or another vowel. So when vowel begins with the word, we used to call the parsing is CW. CW means on the parsing code, conjunction verb. Conjunction verb. For example, when we go to the Genesis verse 1-3, English says, then God said, right? Then God said, let there be light, and there was light. So look at the original text here. Biomeru, biomeru, biomeru. The lemma is amar. Amar means say, say. You see the parsing is a CW here, CW. So CW is this verb, verb. That's why verb is conjunction verb that translates into English and, like the same as Greek word kai, right? Kai is and. So conjunction verb always come whenever it is and translated as English. So verb means and. And the meaning of verb is what? Hook, right? Hook, which is mediator, mediator. So that is a conjunction in the sentence. Okay? So yod, va, yod. Whenever yod comes front of the word in the verb, yod prefix make the imperfect. Like I mentioned in Hebrew, there is no tense, right? But only show the status. Is that action is complete or perfect, which means complete means whether the action is perfect or action is imperfect. That's only two. Okay, that show only status. That is not even tense. But English has a lot of different tense, as we know, right? And then the Greek has a lot of tense too. That's why in the beginning, our Hebrew grammar, I was mentioning about Septuagint. Septuagint. Septuagint is the Greek translation from Hebrew text in Old Testament. That's why Septuagint, they thought that it's the original text, but it is not. It is translate Bible. So Greek grammar is different from Hebrew grammar. So that's the main reason we have to study Hebrew in order to understand Old Testament. So as an example here again, the chapter 1 verse 3 in Genesis. So vayo. So va is a CW, conjunction verb. Yo, that's why here verb, car verb imperfect. Amar is the verb, but the status is what? Imperfect status. And then biomer. So here it says and, here it says and God said, here it says and God said in New King James. And then the English, the King James also said God and God said, same thing. But Elohim, it cannot be a subject of biomer, because biomer subject has to be what? Masculine, third person singular. But Elohim is plural. Plural cannot be a subject of this verb. So without knowing the Elohim, they all translate as God. But when we study Hebrew text in start from the Genesis, we are going to study about Elohim. That's why anyhow biomer, that's why he say, but what's the status? Imperfect status. So go back to our Hebrew, our textbook. So syllable always begin with a consonant, except when a word begins with verb, which is a CW case that we just see. Verb means and. So which is a form of conjunction and may end with either a consonant or another vowel. So bayo, yo, biomer, yo, imperfect. Yod is vowel sound. Since there is one vowel per syllable, this is what I'm talking about. One vowel per syllable. So Greek grammar was the same, right? In order to become a syllable, you have to have at least what? One vowel, right? So it could be a couple of different cases, right? So it can be consonant, vowel. That could be a one syllable, right? Or vowel only. Because in order to become a syllable, you have to have at least one vowel, right? Or consonant plus vowel plus consonant, right? So these vowel and consonant plus vowel then makes open syllable, right? Open syllable. But consonant plus vowel plus consonant then makes what? Closed syllable, right? Because sound can stop on the consonant, but vowel finish with the vowel sound. As long as you have breathe, you can go until you cannot breathe out, right? So that's why open syllable and closed syllable you can identify like that way. So since there is one vowel per syllable, the number of syllables in a word is the same as the number of vowels. We learned this from Greek too, right? So for example, my name, okay, my last name, Kim, right? So K is what? Consonant, right? I is vowel, M is consonant, which is third case, right? So Kim, the sound stop. That's why it called as closed syllable. But what about without M, just Ki? Ki, open. Your mouth is ki, open, right? So open syllable. What about no consonant at all? Just I only. E, open syllable. So there is a syllable, only open syllable or closed syllable to sound the unit of distinct sound, right? So syllable can be open or closed. Vowels are normally long in open syllable. We just practiced that using my name, right? And short in a closed syllable. Incomplete vowel, hatep patah, hatep segor, hatep kamet, sheva are called half syllable and cannot stand in a closed syllable. Every word consists of one or more syllable. So we are going back to study syllable at that time, but basically what I'm meaning is, on this chart, when you see the incomplete syllable, that's what it means. They are called what? It cannot be one syllable. It is what? Half syllable. That's why it's called incomplete vowel. So in order to become a syllable, the vowel has to be complete vowel on the chart. Okay? So half syllable doesn't count as a syllable. Okay? That's why here it says, called half syllable cannot stand in a closed syllable. Every word consists of one or more syllable. So as long as you have one complete vowel, it is syllable. It's syllable. Okay? So one of the example here, open syllable, syllable end with vowel, end with a vowel. So these are end with vowel, open syllable, right? Or diphthong, obviously diphthong end with vowel, right? And then closed syllable, syllable end with a consonant. In my name case, consonant is M. So Kim is closed syllable. So example here is dabar, dabar, dabar. Okay. Why do we have a dot here? Because it is one of the Pegad Kepat letter, right? Then we call that is dagesh lane, which is strong point, right? And then there is another Gerashim, which is a dagesh forte, that is double. So double also can put the dot on the consonant. So we are going to study a little more. So this is dalet, bet, resh. So dabar, D, B, R, right? D, B, R, consonant. So dabar. So da itself is, because this is a complete vowel, when you look at there, that is called a kamet, which is long A sound. That's why this can be one syllable. Da, da, baru, baru. Same kamet vowel mark is here. So baru. So tabar is how many syllable word? Two syllable word. Because we see 1, 2 complete vowel sound, which is long A sound. Tabar means logos in Greek, word, which is word of God, word. So tabar. Okay. So now you understand the syllable, right? In order to become a syllable, you have to have at least what in Hebrew word? One complete vowel, not incomplete vowel. Incomplete vowel does not count as a syllable. Important principle, okay? And then also syllable consists two different categories, right? One is open syllable, another one is closed syllable. Okay? So with that knowledge, let's go to Hebrew vowel mark chart here. So again, there is complete vowel, incomplete vowel. Complete vowel can make the syllable. Incomplete vowel does not count as a syllable. Okay? So let's look at the R line. R. Okay? In complete vowel, we categorize on this chart open, long, short. That means the length of sound. Okay? It is like a similar open complete vowel is half note in music. You learned the music, right? What is half note? Half note, right? Half note. Okay? And then long vowel is quarter note. Okay? So let's say the half note is ah, right? And then long ah, right? And then short is eighth note. You see this mark in the music, right? Eighth note. So ah, right? There's different length of the sound, but those are complete vowel. Complete vowel. And then when you look at the incomplete vowel, we have compound sheva and then sheva. In sheva is those two dots under the letter vertically. So compound sheva is sheva combined with another vowel mark, and sheva itself is this mark only. That is incomplete. So, and the length of sound is shorter than complete vowel, obviously, because it doesn't count as a syllable. Okay? So I would like to say 32's length on the music note. Okay? So until the eighth note, you count as a complete vowel. Okay? And 32 note, it doesn't count as a syllable. Okay? Which is a quick sound. Okay? So on the R line, there is no open vowel sound. Okay? And then long complete R sound is kamet. Kamet. So in this chart, we use as a aleph, the first alphabet, but any word, any consonant. So any consonant, you have this mark, kamet mark, is sound as ah. Okay, sound as ah. So we just saw that dabar, right? Dabar, dalet, bet, resh, right? So this is a D sound, right? And then you have a long R sound, which is kamet. So you put here kamet sound, right? So you need to sound as second note in the music, right? So da, da. Okay. Under the bet, you also see kamet, right? So bet is B sound, and then kamet is long R sound, so ba, ba, so da ba. And then last one, resh, is R sound. There is no vowel mark, right? So dabar, dabar, which means word, logos, logos in Greek word, right? So kamet is long R. And then short R is patach, patach, patach. So you see this mark, right? Patach, any letter, and patach. Okay. And then moving on to the incomplete vowel, you have hatep, padach. So whenever you see hatep, 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 that means you have sheva, sheva, this mark, right? Sheva, and then padach. Padach was short R sound, right? and then you combine with the sheba. That's why you said you call the name Htepadah. Okay, Htepadah. So you put sheba and then the padah. So still sound as what? R sound. Okay, because this is all R line. Still sound R sound, but it doesn't count as a syllable because it is incomplete vowel. So that's the R. So whatever you see this mark, you have to pronounce vowel sound as what? R sound. Just different length of sound, right? It can be R, A, A, A. Okay? And let's move to the E line, E. The vowel sound E. In E, you have open vowel, which is the longest sound, right? Longest sound. Okay? Longest sound. So which is one full note, right? One full note in music. As you see here, you see the yod, right? Yod. So as we learned before, the sum of consonant can be used as vowel. So yod sound is what? E sound, right? E sound. You see here is a dot under the letter. So that called kirek. Kirek. Okay? Kirek. Kirek yod. Kirek yod. So you see it is called kirek. Kirek yod. Kirek yod. Which is long E sound. Long E sound. And then the open E sound. I'm sorry, open E sound. And then the long vowel. This is an open vowel, right? And then long vowel. You see the hirek only, right? This is a hirek yod. This is a hirek. Hirek only, right? So which is long E vowel. Long sound E vowel. So on the E sound, you only have two sounds exist, right? Hirek yod, hirek. Make sense? So got to memorize. So as long as you see hirek yod and hirek, you put any consonant and then sound E sound, vowel E sound. Move to the third line, A sound. You see it's a full block across the line, right? Full line across the line. We have a long open vowel E. You see this yod, right? Yod. Yod is here, same as hirek yod. This is jere yod. So those two dots called as jere. Jere yod. So whenever you see jere yod, you need to sound what? A, which is open vowel A sound. A. And then the long vowel S sound is jere. Same principle, right? Here is E line, hirek yod, hirek yod, right? And then here jere yod, jere. So those are the Hebrew name of the vowel. Okay? So that's the jere yod, jere. And then short sound A is segor. You see the three dots? Okay? So two dots and then three dots. Okay? For example, this dalet. You see the dalet and then shego. So how do you pronounce? Be. Okay? And then you see the jere. Jere is two dots, right? Same. Be. Right? Be. Which is longer than segor, right? And then you see the dal, and then yod here, right? Then be, longer sound, right? Be. Not be, the de, I'm sorry. It's not D, right? D, de, right? D, de. So every sound is de, but just length is different, depends on You see the 제레요드, 제레, or 세골. Those are all complete vowel sound A. And then move over to the incomplete vowel. You see the htep, htep, 세골, right? htep is always sheba comes together, right? So htep, 세골. Still sound as A, but it doesn't count as a syllable. It doesn't count as a syllable. Okay? And then last one is sheba. Sheba, you see the two dots horizontal line, right? So you see the 제레 is vertically two dots, right? I mean horizontally two dots, which is A sound. And then sheba is vertically two dots, right? But same A sound. And then this sheba is two different categories. It is not shown on this chart. Sheba has vocal sheba and then silent sheba. Sometimes this sheba sound as short, very, very short A sound. Sometimes this sheba sound silent. So on the sheba principle, we're going to learn after here, okay? So when we sound A, when we do not sound A, we're going to learn that, okay? So basically, we just learn here, sheba is existing on what vowel line? A vowel line. A. Sound A. Okay? Next vowel is oo. Oo sound. Oo. So open vowel oo sound is Shrek. Shrek is another any consonant, and you put the vowel and the dot inside, right? So in case of bet, you see the bet consonant, which is B, right? And then you look at the Shrek. Then how are you gonna sound? Boo, right? Boo. Because those line is oo line, boo. Okay? And then long vowel oo is kibbutz. You see those three dots is slanted, right? Inclined, slanted, right? So you see the bet, and then you see kibbutz. Still sound what? Boo. So there's only two kind oo sound. One is Shrek, one is kibbutz. Shrek, kibbutz. Those are all oo sound complete vowel. And then there's no incomplete vowel, right? On oo sound. And then last one is O sound. You see the Hollenbach. You see Hollenbach. So in oo sound we have a Shrek, but Hollenbach you have a dot above the vowel, right? Hollenbach. So you have a bet, for example, and then you see the vowel and then above one dot above the vowel. There is a Hollenbach, right? So you have to sound what? Bo. It's an open vowel, so long sound, right? Bo. But when you see the dot inside the vowel, there is no Hollenbach, right? There is Shrek. Then you have to change the sound. Boo. Make sense? Yes. And then the long vowel O sound is Hollem. You know, as you know, the CH sound is het. That's why you need to sound, it throws Hollenbach, right? Hollenbach. And then Hollem is no vowel, just one dot above the consonant, right? Which is O sound still. So that's the open. So in case of bet, consonant, you see one dot above the bet, you sound what? Bo, bo, bo. And then next, the short vowel O sound is kamet khatu. Kamet khatu. Okay? You see the kamet is here, right? Which is A sound, right? A sound. And then khatu. Khatu, you see the sheva, right? Sheva. So when you see the kamet khatu, you sound O. O. In that case, this sheva is what? Incomplete vowel. That's why you will see this one is not sound as A sound. It sound O sound. So then when can we sound A? Then what case can be kamet? What case can be kamet khatu? So we'll learn that when we learn the sheva rule, okay? So we're gonna learn after that, okay? And then last O, which is incomplete vowel O, is htep kamet. Htep kamet. You see htep and kamet. This one htep kamet. Only one consonant. You see the htep kamet, right? This one is not A sound. This one is O sound. But since it is incomplete vowel, it cannot be one syllable, but still sound O. 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 So pretty simple, but needs to memorize in order to pronounce the word correctly. Okay? So again, we have A, I, E, U, O. And then complete vowel, incomplete vowel. Okay? Let's go to the sheva rule. Before we go sheva, go to page 16. And then this is another example. We can practice some more based upon what we just learned. Okay, go to page 16. And then this is the same chart that we see from the page 2, but it has more. It has example, so we can practice a little bit based upon what we just learned, right? This chart is a little bit different. As you see here, I put the complete vowel and half vowel, right? Which is incomplete vowel, right? It can be half vowel, it can say incomplete vowel, which cannot be a syllable, right? And then the complete vowel, you see A, I, E, U, O, right? Same thing we learn, A, I, E, U, O. In complete vowel, you see the compound sheva and the sheva. And with that, remind the one we just saw the chart. And then look at this chart, A sound. A sound. We only have complete vowel, 2 A sound, right? One is short, A is padach. And then kamet. So kamet, padach. So kamet is long A, padach is short A. And then on E, you see the hirek and hirek yod, right? We know since yod is added on hirek, which is the open sound. That's why I put the mark here, long E sound, right? I put more mark here, right? So how do you pronounce this one? I already put the English sound here. Lamet, he, bet, right? Lamet, he, bet. So you see padach, padach. So la have, lahab. La, this is a la, right? Yours is padal, padal, right? So la, ha, v, lahab, lahab, which means flesh. And then the kamet are, what is the name of this alphabet? Dalet, bet, resh. So dalet, bet, resh. It all show kamets, kamets. So da, bar, da, bar, da, bar, da, bar, which means word, word. And then the vowel E sound, we only have two, right? We only have two. One is hirek, hirek yod, hirek, hirek yod. So you see the hirek here. This is the, what's the name of this alphabet? Mi, dalet, bet, resh. So mi, dalet, bet, resh. You see all consonant, right? And then or under the mi, you see hirek, right? Hirek. So that's why you need to sound what? E sound. So mi, mi, mi. And then you see the dalet. This is not E sound, right? This is sheva, sheva, sheva. Sheva is what? Incomplete. Incomplete vowel that doesn't count as syllable, right? So this one is one syllable, that's why here. Mi, dalet is one syllable because you only see one vowel here, right? And then the bet, you see what? Kamet, which is A sound. So the pronunciation is mid, 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 bar, mid, bar. Okay. On this case, sheva is silent sheva, which is no vowel sound. Okay. We'll see after that, the sheva principle. Okay. So midbar is desert or wilderness. Wilderness. Midbar. Midbar. Okay, next one is hirek yod. Hirek yod is, you see, hirek and yod, right? Which is the longest sound, right? Open E. You see the bet, tab, nun. Nun. In this nun, this is the final form, right? Which is we call sofit. Sofit nun, final form, right? That's why we don't put the regular form. This is a sofit, final form. Okay. So bet, tab, nun. So the hirek yod, you see the E sound, right? So this is B, B, right? B. And then tab is t, t, right? So tan, B, tan, B, tan. Make sense? B, tan. B, tan means palace. Palace. Okay. Move down to A sound. A, practice A sound. On A, you see segor, 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 this is segor, right? And then you see the jere, right? Jere is longer than segor sound, right? So aleph, resh, what is it?
Jade.
Jade, which is final form, right? Final form. So aleph doesn't have sound, right? It's a silent. But you see segor. Segor sound is a sound. So that's why this is one syllable, right? So this is one, two syllable word. You see segor, segor. Two complete vowel. You see that, right? So the first syllable is a. Second syllable, ret. This is a resh, so ret. So eret, eret. Eret. Eret is earth. In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. Earth. Eret. 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 Okay. And then look at this Jere. Jere. You see the under the Aleph, you see the Jere here, right? Mm-hmm. So this is only one syllable word then. You don't see any other vowel mark here, right? So it's a one syllable word. So again, Aleph doesn't have sound, but Jere sound is a sound, right? So she, she, esh, esh, esh. Esh means fire, fire, fire. So there is an ish. Ish. So what's the difference between esh and ish? Just yod, right? Right? So ish is man or husband. So man is the one, fire. Man has fire. So what is fire? Fire is the word of God, right? In James, New Testament. The tongue is fire. God is unquenchable fire. So who has the fire? Man. Man has the fire. Okay? And then Isha. Isha is woman and wife. Okay? Isha. Isha. So fire, hoping. Hoping fire. So woman is the one who wants to become man. So I had a Korean lesson last Saturday, and we were talking about that. In 1 Corinthians chapter 11, it says what? The head of woman is man. The head of man is Christ. The head of Christ is God, the Father. Father. So who is a husband? Husband is the one who has law in Romans chapter 7. Okay? So if we go to the Romans chapter 7, this is a little bit sidebar. We are practicing the vowel sound. But once we are mentioned about this, Romans chapter 7, verse 1. Or do you not know, brethren, for I speak to those who know the law, that the law has dominion over a man as long as he lives. And verse 2. For the woman who has a husband is bound by the law to her husband as long as he lives. But if the husband dies, she is released from the law of her husband. So husband has a law and he rules the woman. So then, if while her husband lives, she marries another man, she will be called an adulteress. But if her husband dies, she is free from that law, so that she is no adulteress, though she has married another man. Therefore, my brethren, you also have become dead to the law through the body of Christ, that you may be married to another, to him who was released from the dead, that we should bear fruit to God. So who is a husband? Christ. But we cannot go to the Christ, right? We as a woman, until that husband is died. So from chapter 7, chapter 8, he started like that, and the Apostle Paul talking to the chapter 8, there is therefore now no condemnation to those who are in Christ Jesus, who do not walk according to the flesh, but according to the Spirit. For the law of Spirit of life in Christ Jesus has made me free from the law of sin and death. So the husband who has the law of sin and law of death, in order to go to the new husband, Christos Jesus, who is the law of the Spirit of life, then law of sin and law of death has to be what? Died. So husband is the one who has the law. Husband is the one who is fire. So the Isha, hoping fire, is the one husband to become a husband. Because husband is the one who has the mouth of God, who become one with Christos Jesus. That's why a long time ago I was speaking about when we talking about John chapter 10, and Christos Jesus says, I am the shepherd and you are sheep. So the sheep has to become shepherd. Woman has to become man. Man. So since Bible is a spiritual book, those men and women in our world, okay, woman is the one who wear the skirt and man is the one who wear the pants. And then the Bible says the woman has to be silent in the church. So woman cannot be a pastor or something in the leader in the church, and some denominations say that. So they don't really doesn't know what the man and woman in the Bible. Yes, sir.
I'll ask that to them.
Yes, okay. So now go back to the vowel. We are practicing now. So that's the ash. Ash is fire. Fire. Ash is fire. But Isha, you see, there's an E sound, right? Yod. E. Ish. Ish. Ash. It's the same concept. That's why people who doesn't know those historical background, like I mentioned in the beginning, there was no vowel mark in the beginning of original text. Only 600 to 900 AD, those Masoretes, they create the vowel mark easy to sound instead of memorize all things through oral tradition, right? Okay. All right, let's move to the next one. And we have Jereyod, right? Jereyod, which is a sound. So we got those three are a sound, right? You know, we have to put the line on here, right? Jereyod. So we see bet and yod. Bet, yod, right? And then nun. So how do you pronounce? Ben. Ben. Okay? Ben. And English translate as between. And ben means, another mean is understand. Understand. Okay, understand. So the ben, son is the one who understand. Okay? And then the wu line, kibbutz. And then shurek. Those are all wu line, right? Okay, so Samek, Lamed, Mem. So Samek is Sur, Lam. Because Lamed is L sound, right? So Sur, Lam. Sur, Lam. Why you put two L's? Because you see Dageshi Forte on Lamed. Okay, this is not Pegat Kepat letter. So when you see those dot, except Pegat Kepat letter, we call Dageshim, right? So instead of you put two lamed, you just omit one lamed, put what? Dagesh Forte. That's why it's a double L sound.
Dot.
Yeah, dot. Okay? Because the Hebrew does not want to double, repeat the consonant. So instead of one consonant, instead of two consonant, you just put one consonant and put the dot inside there. Okay? That called Dageshi Forte. And then Pegat Kepat letter we learned that is Dageshi Lane, which is a strong, harder pronunciation. Okay? So you need to have those two different. Okay? So Pegat Kepat dot is Dageshi Lane, they call the name, which is hardened, sound harder. And then Dageshi Forte is not Pegat Kepat letter, and you see the dot, that means double consonant. Okay? And then Sulam is letter, and then another Shurek here, Ain silent, right? Mm-hmm. So Aleph silent, Ain silent, right? And then you see Shurek. So since it's silent, this should be oo sound, right? So ur, ur, ur. Okay. Uru is to wake. The noun of uru is castle. Castle. You see the Greek word police, right? Police. Police, which is town, castle, right? Town, village, castle means, right? So uru is the same in Hebrew word. So uru is town, castle, but verb is wake. So New Jerusalem, holy city. City is police. Police in Greek word. Police the same as uru in Hebrew word. So you have to be the one, you have to be awake, right? If you are in sleep, you are not ur. You are not city. You are not town. You are not castle. Okay. Let's move to the O line. O, sound O. Kamet hatu. Kamet hatu. Okay. So it's supposed to be kamet here, right? Yeah. That's why kamet hatu. This one cannot be a sound, right? Kamet hatu is what? O sound. Kamet hatu. Okay. And we're gonna learn how can we say when can be kamet hatu, when can be kamet after this, okay? Like a Sheba principle and kamet hatu principle we have to know in order to sound correctly. So since this is kamet hatu, you see it is not a sound, it is O sound. So core. Okay? Core means or. In Greek word, the same as panta. Panta, and then Hebrew word core. And then another one is holem. You see the dot here above letter. Holem, which is O sound. So you said holem above the bet, right? So bokeru. Bokeru means what? Morning. Boker. And evening and morning. Morning and evening. So evening and morning, certain day, right? In Genesis, right? But boker is another verb, means research. So morning is the one, research. Same consonant, boker. So we're going to study when we study Genesis chapter 1. Okay, then holembab. Holembab is O. So you see the tet, and then holembab here. Tet, holembab, and then bet. So to. This is to. So in Genesis chapter 2, tov and vara, tov and ra, which is good and evil. The knowledge, tree of knowledge, good and evil. Tov. Tov is good. Tov. And move to the half vowel here, compound sheba. Htepadach. This is what? A sound, but it is incomplete vowel, right? So it doesn't count as the syllable, but still sound a. So you see the aleph, htepadach, right? So still sound a, right? So a, ri, right? Hiregyod, right? Hiregyod. So open E sound, right? So ari. Okay? So ari is what? Lion. The animal, lion. So Christos Jesus is lion, right? Lion of Judah. Revelation says that Lion of Judah, root of David. Okay? And then another compound sheba, htepsego. It's a sound, right? So we learn htepsego. Htepsego is a sound. So Elohim. So it called gods. Because Elohim is masculine plural. It's plural. So if you want to Elohim, want to call as gods, then you have to put S like this, at least, right? Because it's a plural. But some place Elohim translate in English Bible God, especially on chapter 1. There's a lot of Elohim show. Yehovah only show start from the chapter 2. So all Elohim in chapter 1. So then chapter 1 Elohim, chapter 2 Yehovah. And then Yehovah all translated as what? Lord. But it is Yehovah. Why you translate Lord? And then Elohim all translate on chapter 1 as God. But it is plural. At least to put G-O-D-S, gods. Next compound Sheva is Chetep Hametz. It's an O sound, right? So Oni, Oni. Hiregyod again, right? Hiregyod. Like here, Hiregyod, Hiregyod. E sound, right? So Oni, which means depression. So I just mentioned Sheva here. There's a vocal Sheva and silent Sheva. So even though same Sheva, depends on the rule, you sound A, you sound silent. Okay? So this one, vocal Sheva, me, you see? That's why vocal Sheva sound is A, right? So me, and then Sheva said me, right? Me. And then O, D, meod, meod. Meod means exceedingly or very, V-E-R-Y, very, very. Okay. And then silent Sheva here, you see here Sheva. That's why you don't sound A sound here. So this is what? Ma, right? Padah, ma. Since no sound here, mal, M-A-L, mal. Mal, kot, markot, markot. So mar, not ko. It's u sound, right? Markut, 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 which means rain, rain.
It's U because of the dot, right? Because of the dot, it's a U sound?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a U sound. Why? What's the name of that sound? It's a Shurek.
Shurek.
Okay?
Yes.
Shurek, which is U sound. Okay? Shurek. Then let's go to the Hebrew diphthong. Okay, Hebrew diphthong, the next page. A diphthong is a cluster or combination of vowels. We had a diphthong in Greek word too, right? So when we study the vowel in Greek grammar course, we have a long vowel, short vowel, and then diphthong, right? Mm-hmm. So in the Hebrew, we have also diphthongs. So the diphthong is a cluster or combination of vowels acting as a unit and producing a unique sound. Diphthong represent a distinct syllable in Hebrew. The most common diphthongs are listed here. We know this one, I, oi, ui, avu. So it's pretty same as the vowel sound that we learn, right? But since vowel mark comes together, and we just call diphthong. And then here, kametz hatub. Kametz hatub rule, the one I mentioned, right? When can be a kametz, a sound? When can be a kametz hatub, supposed to sound o sound, right? So when can we sound then a? When can we sound o? Same kametz. So we have to learn this rule. So one vowel then might cause trouble in kametz hatub because it makes it confused. So like we just kap, lamet, right? And then we have kametz here, right? But we didn't say car. This is what? Core. Because it's kametz hatub. So we need to apply this principle. Okay? Needs to be careful. That's why here it says it might cause trouble is a kametz hatub. A short O-type vowel that looks identical to the regular kametz, like I just mentioned, right? Same shape. Kametz hatub. So kametz hatub occur only in what? Closed syllable. So look at the kap lamet. Lamed is the consonant that makes what? Closed syllable. So when there is no lamed, this is just a sound, which is open sound, right? So ka, ka, ka. But since the lamed comes after kaf, this is not kar, this is kor. So make sure whenever you see the kamet, whether it is closed syllable or open syllable. When it's open syllable, kamet has to sound what? A sound. But when kamet comes as a closed syllable, it is not a, it is kamet too. So o sound. Okay. So here it says the kamet hatu occurs only in closed, unaccented syllable. We're gonna learn accent later, and being a short vowel. So this become short vowel or short vowel. Kamet hatu. Okay. Closed unaccented syllable is recognized as. So how can we recognize? Like we just say, we learn closed syllable. As long as it's a closed syllable, it is kamet hatu. So there's a lot of explanation you may read during the week. So ordinarily recognizable closed syllable, which is consonant, vowel, consonant. So you see, vaya, both of patah, kamet, vaya. Look at this, kamet. It's closed syllable, right? So if you don't know the rule, you're gonna say vaya kam. No, it is not vaya kam. It is vaya kom. It's O sound, not A sound, because it is closed syllable. Same thing. It is not car. It is, this one is core, which means or, every, or. Easy, right? Needs to more familiarize it, right? Okay. So that's why the syllable ya, yod and a is a ya. Ya is open. This is open. That's why you sound a sound, right? So the kamet is a. This kamet is a. This kamet is a. So vaya, vaya, vaya. The syllable kop, mem. This is what? Closed syllable. Okay. So you don't sound kam. You sound what? O. So vaya, kom. So as long as you know the principle, no problem. Okay. And the second case, when kamet is followed by a consonant with a silent sheva and the syllable is unaccented, and like here, right? Then kamet sheva, right? And then kamet and he. This is closed syllable, right? So it is not ma. It is what? Mo. Mo. Ma. Koma. 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 So ha. This is ha, right? Ha is closed on accent. So kamet is o. I omit this one, right? So o syllable ma is open. He is a consonant, but he is a throat letter, which is a throat letter. So this is open syllable, right? Open syllable. So it is So koma, koma, koma. This is closed, right? Closed. Kamet, this one is closed, right? Because of the consonant is here. So ko, ma, not mo, ma, because he is open syllable. It is a consonant, but it is a throat sound. You can go all day long, right? Okay. And then those principles you can read later. And then sheba rule. Okay, sheba. Like I just mentioned, sheba can be silent. Sheba can be S sound, incomplete vowel. And you only need to memorize vocal sheba. Okay, as long as you memorize vocal sheba, the rest of them is all silent sheba. So you don't have to memorize for both. Okay, only memorize when can you sound sheva. Okay? So simple vocal sheva will not appear beneath the guttural letter, throat sound, and short a sound at the beginning of a word. Whenever you see the sheva, the fourth letter, the sheva become what? Vocal, which is you have to sound a sound. Okay, a. And then following a long vowel. We had a long vowel, right? One long vowel. Kamet, Shirek, Tere, Kibbutz, Holem. Okay? So whenever following by long vowel, you sound sheva, the vocal sheva. You sound a. Okay? And then second of two double consonant in a row. For example, you have a consonant and consonant, right? And then sheva comes both consonant. Okay? In that case, you only sound the second one. You don't sound this sheva become silent sheva. So this sound le, in that case le. So kre, kre. This is cup. So kre, not kere, because this become silent when double sheva. Sheva comes together. Okay. And then under a dagesh forte letter. So dagesh forte letter is what? Begad, kepat. Whenever sheva comes under the begad kepat letter with that dot in there, you sound a sound. Okay? And then simple vocal sheva may also be combined with the three of the short vowels to form compound sheva. Hatep padach, hatep kamet, hatep sego. Obviously, sound is vocal, a sound. So as long as you memorize this, the rest of case all silent. Okay? So silent sheva is not translated, not transliterated, and is not pronounced when it ends a word. So last word, you see sheva, you don't sound. When the first of two in a row, this is same as the one we said double consonant, right? The first one, you don't sound. That's silent sheva. Okay? And then when it close a syllable, when close syllable, you don't sound. If you sound, that is open syllable. Open syllable. Makes sense, common sense. And then when following a short vowel, because here it says following a long vowel, you sound a. But short vowel, it becomes silent. So you don't need to memorize silent sheva. As long as you memorize vocal sheva, the rest of them is all silent sheva. Okay? So those chtep kamet and then sheva rule apply to our Hebrew vowel sound. Okay? So a little bit concerned and more like be careful when you pronounce those words. Okay? So next week we are going to study the meaning of Hebrew alphabet. Like I said, Hebrew or consonant has the meaning. Okay? It is very also important. Like Greek is the sound language, but Hebrew is meaning language. So understanding the meaning of alphabet also play the big role in Hebrew word. Okay? So we are going to study that part next class.